Welcome, children. Today we're going to make a slab box. Cameraman, Freezy, you see, so this is our example of a slab box with the lid. Again, this one's okay, it's not great. I hope Alyssa never sees this video. This is a pretty good one. This is one that I made, okay? This is also a slab box, except this one is rectangular. And as I was just explaining, I would highly recommend that you make yours square. So between 3 and 6 inches square, so that way all of your sides are exactly the same. We use the paper cutter to cut out a square, and I cut mine right now 4 inches. Okay. Now, the next step is making the slabs. Clay has memory, and if you bend clay and then try to push it flat again, it remembers being bent. And even if it's flat when you're finished and you put it in the kiln, it will very often re-bend itself during the firing. So working with slabs can be frustrating because you made something and it was perfectly square and you put it in the kiln, and then it comes out of the kiln and it's all twisted and warped. And that's because you bent it while it was still green. So it's important to keep our... Oh, this is good. Did you do that?
No, I like cut it from...
I'm gonna use this. Yeah. Okay. You remember, what is this stuff? Hardy backer. What does it do to clay? Okay, this is very useful, but it also could be very problematic. If we roll our slabs on top of the hardy backer, by the end of the class period, our slabs will probably be almost leather hard and ready to start joining. Then we could bag it and finish it the next day. What I want you to do the first day that you start this project is get all of your slabs cut out, rolled out and cut out. All of them have to be done on the same day. You can't do 4 today and do the other 2 tomorrow, because then they're going to be at different rates of dryness and they will never join together properly. So, actually, I'm not gonna use yours. I'm gonna get a bigger piece. When you get your clay, I need a wire tool. Can you give me a wire tool? When you get your clay, we're gonna roll it on top. I have some longer pieces of this hardy backer material, and I'm gonna have you roll it on top of here, but you can't leave it on here, especially the long pieces. You've got to get all your slabs off by the end of the period. But ideally what we want to do, this should be long enough to get all 6 pieces of our slab box from one roll. So what I'm going to do is cut off enough clay, and I can't just, we're going to use the slab roller, but I can't just put this in the slab roller and roll it out flat. I've got to get it most of the way flat first. So what I'm going to do is smash this down. Thank you. Once I have this somewhat flattened, I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to throw it down on the table like this. Now, you can use a slab roller, but there's another way that you could roll out slabs. You can just you can keep doing this, right? So that's one way to make a slab. You just keep throwing it down towards you, and it will keep stretching it out and elongating it. The other way to do it is we're going to put it on top of our... Okay, here's the problem though. I have these sticks. Actually, let's do it this way. Let's not put it on the board yet. I would put the sticks on either side, like this, and then take a rolling pin. You need to make sure it's wide, a big enough rolling pin. And then you can roll this out and it'll hit the sticks on each side, and then you'll get an even slab. The problem with doing it this way is that it will stick to the table really badly, and then it's difficult to get up. So again, probably the best way to do it is to put it down on the piece of hardy backer. I'm going to put it all the way at one end and then bring it over to the slab roller. There are 2 sheets of fabric, canvas on the slab roller. You need to make sure that both ends are underneath the roller. And then it helps to have a friend who can roll with you. So I need a volunteer. Come here, Abram. Go over here. Okay, you're gonna pull on both sides. So go all the way to the end. And then I'm gonna roll. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, I almost forgot. Okay, remember I was talking about math? The board is a 1/4 inch. We need our slab to be 3/8 of an inch. So what do I have to set the measurement of the slab roller to be? If the board is a 1/4 inch and I want a slab that's 3/8 of an inch thick, what do I need to set this at? If the board is a 1/4 inch and I want my slab to be 3/8 of an inch, what do I need to make sure this is set at?
3/8 of an inch.
No, if I set this at 3/8 of an inch minus a 1/4 inch, that's only an 1/8 of an inch. I need to set it at 5/8 of an inch. That's a 1/4 inch more than 3/8 of an inch. Does that make sense? So on each side, I'm gonna twist this until the little arrow is pointing at 5/8. Frieza, you're doing a wonderful job videoing this. You're gonna win an Emmy.
All right, thank you.
Okay, is it pointed at 5/8?
Yeah.
Okay, now we'll roll it. Make sure you grab both pieces of fabric. Oh, hold on. Pinched. Weird. Okay. All right. Ready? Pull. Okay, and then go backwards. Push, push. Don't get your hands that close. Okay. Now, I've got a wonderful flat slab, and you're probably going to have a little extra on the sides. You can just trim that off really quickly. And what I'm going to do now is take my template and start cutting out squares. So I'm going to use the fettling knife. You know what I could do? I could be just real smart and line this up all the way along the bottom and then just do one cut. All the way along. So I'm lining up each of these cuts and then just pressing down on that edge. How many did I get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this will get all of them, okay? I'm gonna put this on the top. Okay, this clay that's left over that I didn't use, I'm gonna let a neighbor borrow. And I'm gonna cut all 6 slabs out. See how damp this looks already? That's how much water it's pulled out of the clay. Okay, by the end of the period, these will be more or less leather hard. What I'm gonna do then is there's lots of scrap paper up here. Oh, I just messed up that one. Cut or rip pieces of paper. Okay, again, I cannot leave this overnight on here. I would come back tomorrow to bone dry slabs and I'd have to start over, okay? But what I wanna make sure that I do is, without bending them or trying not to bend them at all, I'm actually gonna flip these over and just leave them on here for a little bit because it'll help pull water out of the top of the slab. If you were to come and feel these slabs, the bottom of them that was contacting the hardy backer already feels fairly stiff and dry, okay? Once these are set up a little bit more, I'm gonna get a different board and then I'll stack these all together. And then tomorrow, I'll be ready for the second part, which is assembling the box, okay? So that's it for today. That's all we're gonna do today. The first day, get your slabs laid out, rolled out, get them cut, get them almost leather dry, but if they're too dry, it's not gonna work. If they're not dry enough, it's not gonna work. You have a very short window of time to work with these slabs. And that's why there's such a high failure rate for this project, okay? So I'm trying to make this as simple as possible. Day 1, get your slabs made. Day 2, assemble your slabs.